Welcome back, everybody, to Roy Khan's PC Gaming. Look, I'm just that dad out here messing with these video games on the computer. Check it out. I want to talk about a little bit about my thoughts on this Warframe information, as well as a few other games. I'm paying attention to a lot of other games, but I know this month the dev team said that they had this update coming, and again, I pointed out in the other video how important I thought it was going to be to start seeing content that was for more or less geared to the older players. So if you're new to Warframe, then you might not be aware of what in-game looks like, but it's pretty much fashion frame. So when you get into the game, it's confusing. You got to use the wiki for it, and go through. Actually, it's fandom. It's really fandom. If you're not using fandom, then you're probably catching heck going through the game. But it's fandom. You use fandom. You start figuring out. After you start unlocking the star chart, you start figuring out where things are, how to unlock stuff. You want an Arcwing, go to fandom, the app. Figure it out from there. It'll link you to everything you need to get and where to go get it. And it's too much. Oh my God, it was way too much. There needs to be an easier way to deal with that stuff. Maybe there should be like, how would they even do that? It's a quest dialogue that will continue to take you through that until it's completed. So in my opinion, a lot of that stuff that you first come across when you start playing Warframe, it really needs some dialogue to walk you through all of it. It really took fandom. When I started, trying to figure out how to create these different weapons, where to get it from, it took fandom. How to generate money, fandom. All these questions had to be asked just to figure out how to play the game. And then after you go through all that stuff, reading and then playing and reading, then it's like you've invested a lot. A lot was invested in playing Warframe just to have fun. A lot was invested, and then after you get through all that stuff, it's like, okay, now I've did all that reading and that learning, I invested all my time, I figured this stuff out, now I'm on to the next thing, right? So then you get to the point where you're just opening up more Warframes, you're leveling them up, you're getting your potatoes and your formas, you're picking up weapons, then you start using what's it called, I forget what it's called, but you can go swap out one skill, start figuring out what's a good build, and then it becomes a build game. What's the best build, right? Then you go through that phase of trying to create different builds. Then you go to the phase where, well, I'm going to make a build just to have fun for me. Then you get to the point, well, okay, so what am I supposed to be doing in the game? Well, everything you're supposed to be doing, you've already done, right? So it's like the game was a carnival. You went to the carnival, and this is my opinion, you went to the carnival, you did a whole bunch of stuff at the carnival, you had some fun at the carnival, you ate the foods that you wanted to eat, you got on the rides that you wanted to get on, and then it's like, okay, well, it's time to leave the carnival. That's how I felt. Just sharing my thoughts, how I feel about that. After watching this previous dev stream, I feel like now, if they do this right, there's going to be constant playable content in the game. So being that this is a living game, meaning that they're constantly editing the game, adding content to the game, it's a living game. So they're going to have to move into a mindset of seasons, okay? And so with seasons, what do you bring in this season, right? And of course, they're going to have to drop data off. So a lot of stuff's got to go away. But if they do it by seasons, then they have the ability to keep content rolling out, right? So we know that the teams split up. They're still under one roof, but they split up. And so Steve and them, they're working on one side of a different game. And then, Reb's got her squad over here still working on Warframe. And they have enough people on the development teams to do this. So hopefully at this point, DE, as far as Warframe, will continue to generate, something like seasonal content. And by season, I would say like cut a year in half. Don't try to, and this is my personal thoughts, don't try to make a whole big super patch for the year. Like, cut it in half. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're making this new content, make half the story. Make half the story, and then present that half the story as a season, and then of course have some new Tenno Gen and stuff like that for that new half season. Have some new skins, for your because you can do the battle pass twice a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, twice a year, just 2 seasons, and in the battle pass, you know what I'm saying, have the different things, skins. Like, skins are always a plus, especially for people that are not, youngsters that are not, don't have their hands to disposable income. You know what I'm saying? So they would really enjoy having the ability to play these seasonal things, the seasonal battle passes, and I'm just speculating here, to win skins like a Korra skin, or you know what I'm saying, have like the end of one of your battle passes win a prime. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody actually wants to get that prime this season, they'll play the whole battle pass, which also means work on the battle pass. Like, I'm going to talk about that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so the battle pass, in my opinion, should be just everyday common stuff that people just coming on the game to play their missions, and they just so happen to be completing battle pass tasks while they're just playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Because most people they still have to play the game to level up and do everything they got to do, and then once you add the battle pass on there and it goes astray from what they're doing, going through the star chart or whatever, then it kind of deters them from continuing the other missions and everything else that they have doing, and not, you know what I'm saying. So for somebody who's gotten through the star chart, gotten through all the main storylines, you know what I'm saying, got everything built that they needed built, then to them it wouldn't be a big deal to do a battle pass with Miss Nora on dumb stuff, you know what I'm saying. But I would probably make every week, because it's a seasonal thing, but I would make every week during that season just simple, redundant stuff. Every week, just refresh the simple, redundant stuff, because they're already doing it. They're already playing the game because they have stuff to do in the game. So just make the rest of the stuff just redundant and simple every week, so that they're getting those points toward completing that season of Battle Pass. Just sharing my thoughts on that. Don't take it personal. Just my thoughts and ideas on that. Something else I want to talk about. So when it comes to okay, we built this big freaking ship for this content, right? That is kind of irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? So it's like really no need to go back to that stuff unless you're still trying to complete missions on that star chart, right? But at the same token, it's like, how can you get more people to play that, right? Mixing it up. So I know they're talking about the what they call them. Oh my goodness. You see, when you get to talking about something and you start forgetting the archons. So not only they got the archons, and then they got the other guy's missions. What's his name? Oh my goodness. Come on, you guys know the other new main character they just brought in. I can't think of his name. Oh gosh, it's right there, and I can't get it out. But whatever. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The new storylines, right? The weeklies. So we have this whole ship we built. We have content that we don't even go to. So can we add weeklies chasing that and incorporate them? There's the Archon missions. I would also incorporate, don't just leave it to Archons. Do Archons this week, and then next week create a backdrop story where we got to hop on our ships and chase down this other imbecile, right? Whether it's from the oh my goodness, I'm at a loss for words. So we have all these creative enemies now, right? And we're not crossing paths, if that's what I really want to say. We're not crossing paths, right? So of course we can generate our own personal enemy that'll stalk us and taunt us. At first we had the stalker, and that was excellent. The stalker would show up on missions and just really try to mess you up, even though he was weak. I really think he should have been super buffed, and like, please go rebuff him, buff this guy up and make him strong to where he has the potential of killing us and wiping the mission. The biggest thing I think that it's missing, and this all goes together, is we don't have the potential to wipe on a mission. There is no real fear of playing Warframe because you're never going to wipe on a mission. You know what I'm saying? So in other real games, you can wipe on a mission. And I'm going to bring up again MMORPGs. Like, for instance, when you're playing World of Warcraft. Oh, dude, World of Warcraft, who plays it? Just follow me. No different than Final Fantasy. So you're in a dungeon or you're in a raid. And in that group, people are messing up. They don't know what they're doing. The raid wipes. Uh-oh, dead. Everybody start again. There's a fear because you don't want to mess around and wipe and be wiping all night. You want to get through the mission, right? That threat doesn't exist in Warframe. I'm saying it does not exist. So if any of the development team, if you've never gotten go play World of Warcraft. I know it sucks, but just play it just for the learning lesson, right? Get to the point where you can get into your first raid. Go join a raid and see what's going on in it. And if you don't want to do that, just cut a YouTube video on World of Warcraft raid fails, right? And then watch how they failed to complete the mechanics properly, and then the team wipes, and then they got to restart, and everybody's ticked off, and yada yada yada. There's a real fear there, the fear of wiping, the fear of failing the mission. Okay, now, so we have these other missions that are not being used. We have all these new characters that can be used across the star chart, the star map, and we don't have the fear of failing a mission. Okay, so in my opinion, incorporate some of these other created bosses that are you can now just generate one, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all do it now all the time, and they got all these special weapons and whatnot. You can generate them, and you can buff them. You can make it so that we can fail the mission, okay? Don't have it to where we can drop their armor in 2 seconds and kill them and they're dead. No, make that a level 120. You know what I'm saying? Make that boss a level 100. I'm talking about in-game content, all right? Make those weeklies. This isn't going to be average content to your general player that's running the star chart. They're not going to be involved in this stuff. If they join one of those missions, they're going to be like, whoa, and they're going to get out like, I'm not built for that yet. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll keep playing the game so they learn it. Then they'll join those missions, you know what I'm saying? And you can also, and so again, I know I'm all over the place with this. Just bear with me. It's a lot of ideas, for real. So, you know, you make it so that those bosses are really, really buff them. Just buff them. You know, give them 3 shields. Give them a armor, a shield, and then, you know, then you start walking down their damage, right? Make it so that they release enemies inside the fight to help fight with them. And then you got to bounce around the room and stay alive and kill those enemies while trying not to get killed by the boss. You know what I'm saying? Look at what's that game everybody was just playing? What's this game? Everybody was going crazy for it. I haven't played it yet. Was it like Dark Souls, Eden, or what is this thing? Elden Ring, right? Is it Elden Ring? I think that's it. I think it's like Elden Ring or something. Everybody's complaining, oh, these bosses are so hard. We're just dying on them. Da, da, da. There's a fear there. There's a fear there, and that fear is this ain't no cakewalk. So now I gotta pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So when you put a fear there, there's a real reason for you to actually work hard at the content. When you make it so easy that somebody can just drop the armor and kill them, boom, it's over. Then the game is boring because like, well, somebody in our group nuked the boss, right? There was no threat. They nuked the boss. Game over. Okay. And I know, you know, DE, you guys said you're working on that because, you know, you see it's too easy. People are nuking stuff and it takes away the fun for the other players. I'm agreed to that. Don't do that. You know, I mean, do help it so that these people can't nuke the boss. And, you know, and then, boom, let it roll from there. So we need to be scared when we play the content. There needs to be a fear factor. There is no fear factor, okay? Now, on the arbitrations, there is a fear factor. And one of the things about arbitrations, I just recently played arbitration. I hadn't played a while, and I got in there, and I wasn't even thinking about an arbitration, how it even worked. I hadn't played it in that long. And then, boom, somebody shot me like once and my body hit the floor like boom, you're dead. And I was like, what the world just happened there? And then I remembered, oh, you got to collect those things. So then you got to wait for somebody to collect those. But nobody wanted to collect those things. So I would say, don't make that where you got to collect stuff. That's crazy. Just make it so that somebody has to come revive you. That's it. So you can use the concept of arbitration, because it gets tough in arbitration. It gets tough. Use that concept and give us something on the ship. The ship, like for instance, once we queue for these weeklies with these random bosses, not the archons. The archon missions are already there. Make these other missions with these other groups. What is it? Oh my goodness, man. We've got two different types now. Of personal bosses we create for ourselves. I don't remember which update that was when we got that, but we got two types now, right? So you can take any one of those and procedurally generate an enemy and give him 2 health bars, give him a shield, or if he's a shield guy, give him 2 shields, make him super strong, make it so that he has other players popping in and working for him, other AI that pops in and helps him, and then we gotta work through all that, and then that's going to force the group to stay together, because a lot of times, if they don't die in that mission, they're not coming to revive you because there's no threat to them. So if there's no threat, they're not coming to revive you. They're just going to carry out the mission. You're going to let the mission play out. So you have to make that threat. So you have to make it so it's going to take the 3 or 4 people to work together to put down that boss, that last fight, that boss. It's going to take all 4 of you. You got to make it that way. So if you've got to give that boss 3 shields or 3 levels of armor and 2 health bars, right? If you've got to make him nuke every second hit, he nukes you and you're downed, then there's the fear. All right, there's the fear right there. So that's just my thoughts on it. I'm thinking about the game more and more. Of course, I'm picking it back up and playing it a little bit and messing around in the game and seeing what's going on. But those are some of the things that I'm looking at and saying to myself, how come? How come? Like, why? How come? So we haven't gotten in our ships. We took all this time to build these ships. We haven't gotten in our ships to do any particular missions. So I really think you could use that stuff for that particular stuff. So anyways, that was long-winded. Those are the few thoughts I had I wanted to put out there. If you got any comments, drop them in the comment section. If you liked or disliked it, let me know what's going on. Tell me how you feel about it. What do you think you really want to see with this content? Because Warframe's a great game, and I expect to see good things coming out of it. I'm waiting for this new patch in September. I'm waiting. So yeah, man, that's all I got. I'll catch you all in the next episode. I'm gonna leave you with some video game content running in the background. I'll catch you all in the next one.
Extraction is ready, unless you can handle more of the enemy. Continue to defend. You will be rewarded for your bravery. Focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. I'm detecting a large security force heading your way. It's the Grenier. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting? Keep fighting. Another opportunity to extract will appear soon. Extraction is ready, unless you can handle more of the enemy.